Tesla's in the headlines. You know, of course, they're always in the headlines. That's nothing new. But this time, they're kind of in the hot seat with people claiming that their customer service appointments are being canceled, maybe even their customer complaints about battery degradation, EPA distance, promises made, that sort of thing. Even some sort of backdoor nefarious group within Tesla denying these sorts of things. I'm not sure if any of that's true or not. That's not what this video is about. What this video is about is I have set up a real world test with our Tesla. We are going to go up a big hill, plateau, and down a big hill. So we're going to see how this car reacts. We're going to take a look at the nav before the trip, take a look at those numbers, write them down, do the trip. On the other end, we're going to compare those numbers and then come back and do the same thing all over again. So we're going to have basically two tests in one video, and we're going to see how the nav does in prediction as opposed to real world. So stick around. This one's going to be good. I can't wait. I think I got a good test. Oh, by the way, it's going to be about 100 degrees on the second part of the test. It's going to be a hot day. So thanks for joining us today on Tesla Tips and Trips. We are starting our test at the Santa Clarita Supercharger. We're just going to get a little top up so we have enough to get up and over the hill. And we're going to have a little In-N-Out burger. It said there were 5 stalls available. I'm finding a little more than 5. We beat the white one over here, actually. So here we go. We'll plug in.
Your destination is on the left.
Well, actually, we're at the destination. Plug in, have some burger, and then we are on our way. We'll give you all the particulars in a second. All right, let's get her plugged in. We're going to use the 250 here. Get it plugged in. See where we're at. It's a hot day already. So there we go. We are charging. We are currently at 65 miles or 31%. And we'll do the final numbers before we leave to get us to our destination. But right now I'm going to enjoy some In-N-Out burger. Mmm, tasty. Hey, so Marcus just mentioned that he sees caution tape on that one over there, which would indicate to us that it's out of order, but yet it does not say that on the nav. Let's tap on it. Usually it says, whatever that is, I can't read that far, 3B, 3A, would be out of order, but it's not listed there. So this particular location is very well maintained. I'm constantly seeing Tesla trucks here and doing stuff on the nozzles and all kinds of different maintenance in the cabinets, and so this is definitely not a neglected space. So that one should probably get repaired here pretty soon. All right, now it's time for what a hamburger is all about. Hey, In-N-Out, if you want to sponsor us, I wouldn't object. All right, we got enough for our little test here, so let's unplug. All right, so before we take off, we're gonna have to write some numbers down. I've got my notepad, I've got my pen. I don't know where I developed a southern accent all of a sudden though. Okay, so we are going from the Santa Clarita Superchargers on Newhall Ranch Road, is how she says it, to the Tejon Ranch Supercharger here. It is estimating it is 49 miles, so I'm gonna write that down under distance from this location. Estimating we will arrive at 31% on the battery. Now 31, it doesn't give us the miles down here, which is interesting. I'm not sure why. So up here, let's take a look. We are at 52% state of charge and 111 miles. So 111 miles, 52% is what we're at. It is estimating we will arrive at 31%. So let's get going here before the AC changes these numbers. We are going on a major uphill grade, then a plateau, and then a major downhill grade to get to Tejon. So it'll be the same coming back as well, which will be great. So we'll have some regen on this trip as well. 31% is the estimate. Let's see how accurate it is. We're getting on the 5, and we're gonna stay on the 5, and we're gonna go all the way to Tejon Ranch. We are here on a Saturday afternoon. I'm here with my son, Marcus. He thought, you know what, Dad, I want to go to Tejon Ranch today. It looks like so much fun. We haven't been there in so long. Can we go on a short little road trip and do a YouTube video test? Please, Dad, please? He's over there shaking his head. On we go. We're going to go up this major grade. It's a major hill. It's called the Grapevine, for those of you that know the area. And it's, you know what? It's going to be a pretty big climb here, and we should see some changes in our battery state of charge and all that stuff. So as soon as we hit the base of it, I'll let you know what the percentage is, and then we'll see what it is at the top at the plateau. All right, we are now heading up the Grapevine on the 5 northbound. We are at 48% state of charge currently. 47, it just flipped over. 101 miles on the battery up here, and we are estimated to be 39% arrival. So Grapevine, huge elevation change going up. And I want to let you know, because people are going to be complaining or commenting down below, I am not keeping a consistent speed. This is meant to be a real world, get in your car, what's it like on a road trip? I'm going to be doing, 65 to 75 miles an hour. It's not going to be consistent. So we're going to see how the range holds up in a real world test, as if you were to jump in your car and just, go on a road trip. So this is what we're looking at the base of the Grapevine right now. One thing occurred to me with Marcus sitting here. He doesn't have much or very little experience even riding in a gasoline car. And if you're on the fence about getting an electric car, one of the things you probably don't know is going up a grade like this. Gas cars are struggling to get up. Even look at, there's a 3 on our right there just flying up. That proving my point right there. Even the most powerful gas cars are somewhat struggling up this grade. Engines going trying to get up. And if you're an electric car, especially a Tesla, you're flying up this. You don't even feel it, to be honest. In the pedal, there is no lag. It's like you're a fighter jet amongst biplanes. We are at 36% state of charge, and we're estimated to be arriving at 36% state of charge, which tells me we're going to do a whole lot of regenning on the backside of this mountain range, hill, whatever. So we are at the top, and we shouldn't burn off too much heading into Tejon, but we'll see once we arrive there how these numbers all work out. So again, in terms of speed, I'm not doing anything crazy. I think the highest I got up to was like 73. We're kind of cruising here at 68. I mean, traffic is kind of dictating that anyway. So again, real world, how you would be on a road trip or whatever in this kind of traffic. I get it, on some stretches you're going to be like that guy. So no crazy speeds here. I didn't want to do a consistent speed because with this kind of traffic and trucks and uphill and all that stuff, I didn't think I'd be able to maintain it anyway. So I didn't catch it on video, unfortunately, but we just saw a big road sign that says high winds through Tejon, so we're about to experience that. Marcus just pointed out we're at 31% state of charge, and we're due to arrive with 35% state of charge. Now, Tesla is supposed to, after a recent software update, and by recent I mean within the last year or so, is supposed to factor in wind, temperature, that sort of thing, speed limits. It can't factor in if you're, going faster than the speed limit though. So anyway, we're about to do this downhill, and we should gain about 4% according to the NAV, so another thing we can look out for. Check out this Mercedes EQS, 450 I think it is. That's an EV right there. Wonder where they charge. Oh yeah, Electrify America. Sorry. We're coming up on Gorman, and we're showing you on Marcus's phone an app we use called Superchargers, and it basically tells you when superchargers are being built, when they're permitted, or the other way around actually, permitted, built, complete, all that stuff. So we are coming up on one in Gorman, and which side of the freeway is it on? The right side? Okay, so he's showing you that now. I wonder where, does it say? By the Chevron maybe?
Somewhere there.
So somewhere right down there, we will have a supercharger right here on the plateau. I think I saw an open field that looked kind of fenced off, so that might have been it. This is a good location. It's between Tejon and Castaic, the two closest superchargers on either end of this mountain range, or the Grapevine. So this is definitely a good place for it.
And it's 63 stalls.
63 stalls! They are going all in on these supercharger locations. That's crazy. I love it. I can't wait to visit. Gorman. Definitely can feel the winds all of a sudden picking up. Yeah, we're heading downhill a little bit, There's going to be a little bit of flat around this left turn up ahead, and then we're really going to go downhill. We're coming up on the San Andreas Fault. Yes, it's actually right here near the Fraser Park, California area. We've got gusty winds. Rest area coming up here. I know there's a sign. Where is the sign that says San Andreas Fault? I thought it was like right here. Lebec. I could swear there was a sign. You know, as soon as I turn off the camera, there's going to be a sign. So funny thing is, there's Tejon Ranch there, but we're not even close to the supercharger that's named Tejon Ranch. I guess the whole area is, though. Anything about a fault line? Maybe they moved it. Maybe the San Andreas moved and they took the sign with. Huh, I could swear there was a sign here. Alright. Okay, interesting. It just popped up on the screen. Preconditioning battery for fast charging. We are still 12 miles out, 13 minutes. So it just popped up on the screen. For those that are wondering when that sort of thing happens, we are, of course, at 85 degrees Fahrenheit right now. It's been kind of toggling between high 90s to this, so obviously depending on the area. We are coming up on a grade here. So for the next 5 miles, that sign says 6% grade for, it'll start at 2.5 miles. So that's the grade I've been telling you about, and that's the math behind it. All right, 5 miles, 6% downgrade. Trucks use low gears. We don't have any gears, nor are we a truck. So we don't, doesn't apply to us. Hey, a hill. I'm glad they labeled it. All right, so we are officially heading downhill. We are at 22% state of charge. The original estimate was 31% state of charge arrival, right?
Yeah.
So it's now saying 28, and we're at 22. So let's see what happens, you know, as we go down this grade, how much we gain back in regen. All right, we're really heading down now. This is probably the major part of the downgrade right here. There's a runaway area there for trucks. Luckily, we don't even use brakes in a Tesla. Those new to Teslas or electric vehicles, you pretty much just regen down. I haven't even touched the brake. So 23% is what we're at right now. Not a whole lot of regenning, but wind, I think, is really playing a big factor. Now it's saying 26% state of arrival. State of charge arrival, and the original was 31.
We did gain 1% though.
We did gain 1%. We are almost there. Thrilling stuff here on the channel. All right, still preconditioning. We are going to be arriving at Tejon Ranch Supercharger pretty soon. We only gained 1% on the regen side of things, 23%, predicting 26%. So a little bit off as to the original estimates. I can't wait to see, we haven't been to Tejon in a while. I can't wait to see the upgrades and the amount of superchargers, and it's just nuts. What's the amount total?
76.
76 stalls for this particular supercharger, and they're all 250s? Nodding of the head does not work on video if it's not on you. So yes, I'm being told by the expert next to me, 76 250s, so we'll just park anywhere. I can see it off in the distance there. I think. Yep, 1.5 miles. There they are. You can see them off to the right. Lots of Teslas charging already. 76 stalls. This looks busy. Even the parking lot looks busy with regular gas cars. Man. We are at the outlets at Tejon Supercharger. 76 stalls of Tesla charging goodness. We have been here before, but they had not finished it yet. It wasn't fully open yet, and they hadn't expanded yet. And I am told by my family expert here, this is the largest supercharger that we are about to visit. Despite having already visited here, it is now the biggest with 76 stalls. Pretty impressive. Look at this. This is great. So cool.
2 silvers in front of us.
That is a very good observation. Silver, a very unique color, only was available in 2018.
There's two of them.
And there's two of them right in front of us. All right, we are here. Let me take down some numbers before we actually plug in. We have arrived at Tejon Ranch Supercharger. We are at 23% state of charge. You're taking some notes down here. Or 48 miles. And we were promised 31%. We arrived at 23%, so that's a little bit off. We left Santa Clarita at 52%. So, and arrived at about halfway or so. There's 111 miles was on the battery, and now we have 48 miles on the battery. So, and the distance was 49 miles for the total trip. All right, let's plug her in. The Supercharger is definitely impressive. Right along the 5 is right there. The Supercharger's kind of as far as the eye can see. This is pretty impressive. All right, let's head inside, navigate to where we're going, and see how much we need. I don't think we're gonna need a lot, to be honest. Hey, this is interesting. This car is only capable of 170 kilowatts, and we were at 172, now 171. So we have definitely maxed out. We were optimized, we were warm, low state of charge, well, somewhat low, 25%. That's actually not too low. But rocking and rolling here at 171 kilowatts. Pretty cool. And if you find yourself charging here at Tejon, there's a huge outlet mall. And today, pretty busy for a Saturday afternoon. I'm guessing these are not all Tesla owners and supercharging people. But pretty cool, actually. And the bathrooms are pretty close by, if you're wondering. I am at the Tejon Ranch Supercharger on the southbound side, 76 stalls. Now, we've been here before, but it was still being constructed. There were just a handful of superchargers at the time that we visited the last time. Now it is fully complete, 76 stalls, just a massive, massive installation. It is by far the biggest installation we have been to so far. So this is very impressive. And look at the amenities. If you can see the sign behind me, right there, tons of amenities. We're at an outlet mall, lots of stuff to eat, lots of stuff to do, bathrooms, etc. This is a great, great location if you're on a road trip along the 5 in Southern California. Just a little tour of the Tejon Ranch Supercharger, 76 stalls. This is a Saturday afternoon. Lots of people charging. Lots of amenities for sure. Look at that board. You can pick anything you want. Bathrooms, restaurants, stores, shopping. It's just amazing. It's an impressive, impressive installation. Last time we were here, they were still building it. Only like 12 or 16 were open at the time. And now it's a 76 stall, tons and tons of charging. And there's also electric vehicle charging over there for other electric cars, which is great. So we are charging here, and we are pretty much done, ready to go. Listen to those fans. It's a hot, hot day, and it's supercharging. All right, we've got enough juice to get home. Let's unplug. We'll take down some numbers so we know what we're starting with. And there we go. Tejon Ranch Supercharger. Plenty of stalls available, even though it's pretty busy. Still tons and tons of space. All right, so we are at 131 miles, 62% state of charge. And the estimate to get back home is 47%. And the distance is 52 miles. Not sure why it's longer than before. Oh, because we're going home this time. You know, real world, like I said, this is real world stuff. We're not doing anything scientific here by any means. It's really, really impressive. It is so big. It's amazing. Actually, that's one thing that would make that supercharger location better. Why do they get all the shade over here? What's going on there? So you can see on the other side here, this truck is in the way, so we'll whoosh around them, is the other Tejon superchargers. Those are the originals, if you've been in the area. And that's a how many stall?
24.
24 stall. Routinely busy, though. And here we are taking the Interstate 5 South ramp.
Now stay straight to take the Interstate 5 South ramp.
Just like our trip to Tejon, we're monitoring the percentage here, and we are currently at 41% state of charge with an estimated arrival of 46%. And the original was 47 at the supercharger and then 59 as we were heading out of the parking lot. So still all over the map. all over the map in terms of what it's telling you and real world right now. We are now heading down the grade from the Grapevine, heading into the Santa Clarita area, Magic Mountain, if you are familiar with the area. Looking at 36% state of charge here at the top. It is estimating 42% arrival at our house. And we'll see exactly where it falls in between. The original estimate, like I said, 47 and then 59. So let's see if we can do some regenning down this hill. I'm not sure, it didn't do it last time. But it should be less windy here, although pretty hot, 99 degrees Fahrenheit.
In 1,000 feet, turn left onto Newhall Ranch Road.
There it is again. She said it again. That's funny. Hey, right in front of us, you can see a lot of twisted metal. That is Six Flags Magic Mountain, just north of Los Angeles.
Now turn left onto Newhall Ranch Road.
Oh, there's a good view of it right there. Look at all those coasters. And my son Marcus has ridden them all. Every square inch, right? That is a lot of twisted metal right there. Has nothing to do with this video, though. Over to our right here is our two cars' favorite restaurant. Check that out. Our Model Y and Model 3 love that place. Back home in our garage, we are at 69 miles, or 33%. So those are the numbers upon arrival. We're at 103 degrees Fahrenheit, you can see over there. And over there is a Cybertruck. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's go over all the numbers and see where they stack up as to original and arrival and all that fun stuff. Okay, that wraps up our real world test, going from basically the Castaic area to the Tejon Ranch area and then back to the Castaic area or Santa Clarita area. So I've got all the numbers. I took notes and I've got all the numbers. So let's run down what exactly we saw. Of course, you've been watching the video the whole time, and we've been, spewing out the numbers as we go. By the way, I want to thank you for everyone who has ordered a Tesla through our referral link. Thank you very, very much. It allowed today's test to be free because I've got supercharging miles in the loot box from people using my referral link. I realize the referral link is only good for 12 referrals on my side, but the referral link is good unlimited on your side. So I think I have 4 more left, 4 slots remaining for people to use my referral code or link to buy their Teslas. Then I get stuff and you get stuff. After the 12, then only you get stuff. But I'll leave it up there. You guys use it. Feel free. Go ahead. I think it'd be awesome if you guys use my referral code. That's very cool. All right. So Santa Clarita Supercharger, Castaic area to Tejon Ranch. Our state of charge was 52%, and the original estimation was 31%, and it ended up to be 23%. And it did fluctuate the whole time. Back to Tejon Ranch, back to the Santa Clarita area, Castaic area. It was actually from Tejon Ranch to my house this time, not a supercharger. We started off in Tejon Ranch after supercharging with 62% on the battery there, 131 miles on the battery, so whichever one you like to use, I've got both there. It was a distance of 52 miles, and the estimate upon unplugging at the supercharger was 47%. But then we drove a few blocks around the outlet mall, and at that light, we had another estimation of 59% state of charge for arrival. However, the real world numbers are not even close. We arrived back at my house, state of charge at 33%, not 47 or 59, and 70 miles or 69 miles thereabouts. So 131 to 70, or 47.59, depending on which estimate you take, down to 33. So these real world numbers are kind of wildly different compared to what the NAV is giving us right now. So the lesson I want you to learn is not Tesla bad and their estimates are awful and you shouldn't drive a Tesla or anything like that. That's not it at all. If you're on a road trip, add a buffer. 5, 10%, whatever, make sure there's a buffer. Or at the very least, if you're on a road trip, nowadays there's superchargers just everywhere. Make sure you have what's called a bailout option. Maybe one 10 or 15 miles away from your normal scheduled stop for a place on a road trip. So make sure you have those options available on a road trip. Just know that the NAV these days, and I kind of figured, we did 2 road trips recently. San Diego was a vacation, and then San Luis Obispo for the Tesla takeover. And we were noticing some very, very weird numbers from what the NAV was estimating to what real world was. And it was 2 different cars. It happened on the Model 3 for our San Diego trip, and then our Model Y next to us here on our San Luis Obispo trip. So it's more of the NAV and Tesla software and estimating and all that stuff than it is the car. So wildly different numbers. Just, I want your takeaway to be from this that be prepared. Add a little buffer, whatever you feel comfortable with, 5%, 10%, whatever. If not, make sure you do have some bailout options to charge instead. Okay, taking a look at our energy thing here. We've got the 24% use for driving on the last trip, 2.2% for climate, and look at the elevation here, 3.8, which is interesting. And everything else, 1%. So interesting taking a look at this grid right after the trip. This was our last trip as well, last 30 miles. You could definitely see we did some mountain driving. So, you know, we have the ups, we have the downs. This is the regen area. That's very interesting on this trip too. And then up here on our current trip, we did the 54 miles. It was 1 hour. This is from Tejon to home. And not too bad there, 234 watt hours per mile. I'd say that's pretty good on a trip with elevation changes like it did. So once again, thank you so much for watching another Tesla tips and trips video. I really appreciate it. If you've watched this far, you are really into the Tesla experience and want to know more and all that kind of cool stuff. And like, subscribe, hit the bell. I know all of us YouTubers say the same stuff, but it truly means the world to us if you go ahead and do those things. It helps the channel grow. It helps allow me to do more of these videos for you, and it just it means the world. So I really, really appreciate it, and I think that's it. Oh, and use our referral code. If you're buying a Tesla, go ahead, use the referral code. It gives me some free stuff, at least temporarily. We've got 4 left. And of course, beyond that, it gives you some free stuff as well. So we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks again for watching Tesla Tips and Trips.